Dead by Daylight now has over 30 killers, and let's be honest, some are just way more fun to play than others. Whether it's their abilities, their perks, or just the pure satisfaction of hunting survivors down, these are the killers I keep coming back to. Today, I'm counting down my top 5 favorites to play, so grab your flashlight, don't get caught, and let's dive in. That's right, number 5 is the animatronic, and honestly, it's no surprise. Fans have been waiting years for him to finally join the roster. I love him for his perks, his playstyle, and just he's plain fun. Between his special grab animations, those brutal axe throws, and the way he can teleport around the map using his doors, he's one of the most unique killers in Dead by Daylight. Then there's his perks, starting with Phantom Fear, which is insane. Whenever a survivor in your terror radius dares to look at you, they scream and reveal their aura for 2 seconds. Pure paranoia fuel. Then there's Haywire. If a survivor stops working on an exit gate past 80%, it immediately starts regressing. The speed depends on your perk level. It makes the endgame feel like it's slipping right out of their hands. And finally, Help Wanted. Whenever you kick a generator, it becomes compromised. Then, when survivors finish it, you get a juicy buff. Your basic attack recovery is boosted by up to 60 seconds. A little speed edge makes chases so much smoother. Now let's talk about his axe. The animatronic can launch a powerful projectile that embeds itself in a survivor, leaving them broken, oblivious, and unable to heal until they rip it out. The really clever part is you can actually track the survivor through the axe's aura while it's stuck in them, making it easier to chase them down. Even a near miss lights up the survivors with killer instinct, and when you're ready, you can recall the axe right back into your hand. Landing one of these throws is ridiculously satisfying every single time. And then there's his doors. The animatronic can slip through them to instantly move across the map, keeping survivors constantly guessing. But here's the real kicker. If a survivor is unlucky enough to be inside when he comes through, he grabs them straight out. It's a mix of mobility and raw terror. If a survivor has an axe in them, you can close in and snatch them up. Sliding into number 4 is the Death Slinger. Because who doesn't love a harpoon rifle that drags survivors straight into your arms? It's like fishing, only stabbier. It's got a unique range style that feels raw and satisfying every time you land a shot. And on top of that, one of his perks has become a cornerstone of my killer builds, making him a go-to choice even beyond his weapon. Few things in Dead by Daylight feel as brutal or as satisfying as hitting a shot across the map and dragging someone screaming back into your arms. Now let's talk about that perk, Dead Man's Switch. The second you hook a survivor, this perk goes live, and here's where it gets fun. If any survivor chickens out and lets go of a generator, the entity slams it shut and locks it down, glowing white like a neon sign saying, "Hey, survivors were just here." It's not only amazing for slowing down gens, but it's also a killer way to track exactly where your prey is lurking. It fits the Death Slinger's vibe perfectly: patient, punishing, and always watching. Death Slinger's real star is his rifle, the Redeemer. Survivors live in constant fear of that harpoon, because the moment you land a shot, they're dragged straight into your grasp. It's paranoia fuel, making them second guess every vault and loop, and for us, it's addictive. Hitting that perfect shot and reeling them in is like fishing. Then there's his Mori. I mean, do I need to say anything? It's brutal, it's personal, and it's everything you expect from a guy who turned a harpoon into a murder tool. Coming in at number 3 is the Dredge, and honestly, I love him for one reason. He's pure nightmare fuel. Everything about him screams boogeyman energy, the kind of thing that creeps out of your closet at 3 a.m. just to eat you. He's unsettling, he's disturbing, and that alone makes him one of my favorites to play. And if his base form wasn't unsettling enough, his skins just crank the nightmare up. From baby doll horror to stitched mess of animal parts, one that looks like it's woven straight from the souls he's devoured. Every version just adds to his pure boogeyman vibe. And then there's Nightfall, the Dredge's ultimate nightmare. Every hook, every hit, every teleport pushes the meter higher until the map is swallowed in total darkness. Survivors are left blind and forced to stumble through the void while the cries of past victims echo around them. Meanwhile, the Dredge sees them clearer than ever, slipping through lockers with terrifying speed and silence. And of course, we can't forget his locker teleportation. Being able to pop across the map and appear out of nowhere is insanely handy, but it's also one of the most fun parts of playing him. There's nothing quite like the rush of suddenly popping out of a locker and snatching an unsuspecting survivor. It's pure nightmare fuel. And finally, we can't forget his Mori. It speaks for itself in the terror category. Gruesome, chilling, and absolutely nightmare-inducing. Sliding in at number 2 is the Xenomorph, and honestly, this one's special. Not only does it have my favorite Mori in the entire game, but it's also just insanely fun to play. Its ability to dive into tunnels makes map control a breeze. The tail strike is one of the most satisfying attacks you can land, and with one of my absolute favorite perks in the game, it's no surprise the Xenomorph claws its way this high on my list. Now about that perk, Alien Instinct. Whenever you hook a survivor, the farthest one lights up in your aura for the next few seconds. And while they're revealed, they're also oblivious. This makes your tunnels insanely effective and keeps constant pressure on the survivors. Honestly, it's a perk I find myself slotting into a lot of killer builds because it gives you so much map control. Then there's the Tail Strike. Honestly, this ability is just pure fun for a player like me who loves sniping survivors. Once you get the timing down, it's incredibly effective at catching people right as they think a vault or a pallet drop is going to save them, only to eat a tail spike to the face. It's one of those moves that never stops being satisfying. Then there's the tunnels. Being able to dive under the map and pop up anywhere makes the Xenomorph an absolute menace. It gives you incredible map control and lets you keep pressure on every generator. And honestly, it's just plain fun to suddenly burst out of the ground right in front of a survivor. Taking the number 1 spot is Nemesis. I didn't think I'd love him since I've never been big on Resident Evil, but he's the perfect mix of brute force and range. His tentacle strikes keep survivors guessing, while his zombies add constant pressure and chaos. The infection system snowballs fast, making every match feel intense. And with one of his perks in almost all of my killer builds, Nemesis is just pure fun to play. That's why he's my number 1. Now let's talk perks. Lethal Pursuer is one of my favorites in the entire game. It shows me the survivor's auras for up to 9 seconds right at the start of the game, letting me apply instant pressure before they even get going. Plus, it extends every other aura reveal by 2 seconds, which makes tracking and hunting survivors even easier. This perk is a game changer. And then there's his bread and butter ability, the Tentacle Strike. It's got great reach, and not only does it injure survivors, but as your infection level grows, it can even smash through pallets. Honestly, there's nothing more satisfying than watching a survivor drop a pallet thinking they're safe, only for Nemesis to smack them down with a nasty tentacle and break the pallet in one brutal strike. And that's my list of the top 5 killers to play in Dead by Daylight. Remember, this is just my opinion. Your list might look totally different, and I'd love to hear what your favorites are down in the comments. Whether it's the brutality, the fear factor, or just pure fun, every killer brings something unique to the fog. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stick around for more Dead by Daylight content. And as always, stay off the hook.